Please join in our call to worship printed on page 2 of your worship aid. We remember you, O God, the countless saints of history who have blazed a trail of courage through time.
We remember, O God,
the tender touch of a loved one, the example of heroes, the healing words of comforters, the remarkable acts of fearless ones.
We remember, O God,
the gentle strength of grandmothers, the loyalty of friends, the kindness of strangers, the joy of children, the sacrifice of parents. The supreme love of creation, the blessing of spirit, the wisdom of word shown forth in the lives of the faithful, young and old, dead and living, articulate and familiar, strange and familiar, brilliant and ordinary. Since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us worship God with joy. We remember, O God, the countless saints of history who have blazed a trail of courage through time. We ask the saints to pray for us on this evening. We also seek the prayers of those who have departed before us. As we sing the Litany of Saints, you are invited to move around the worship space and light the candles placed near the photographs of our dearly departed. Our cherished mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, husbands and wives, partners and friends.
Lord, have mercy. Christ, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Holy Mary, Saint Joseph and Saint Dominic, John the Baptist, Mary Magdalene, Augustine, Benedictine, Catherine, Saint Margaret Mary and Scholastica, Cecilia, Lucy and Agatha, Martin de Porres, Philip Neri, Saint Francis, Mark and Gregory, Paul and Peter and Saint Andrew, Elizabeth Seton and Saint Monica, Saint Matthew, James, John and Patrick, Claire and Maria Goretti, Thomas Becket and Saint Stephen, Saint Agnes, Bridget and Martha, Saint Oscar Romero, Saint Catherine Drexel, Saint Jose Sanchez del Rio, Saint John Neumann, Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton, Saint Juan Diego, Blessed Francis Sealos, Blessed Stanley Arthur, Saint Catherine of Alexandria, Saint Joan of Arc, Caspar del Bufalo, Blessed Teresa Gerandinger, Teresa Bernard St. Lawrence, all you holy men and women, God be merciful, from sin and evil, by your birth, death, and rising, by your gift of the Spirit, be merciful to sinners. Jesus, Son of the living God, Christ, hear us, hear our prayer.
The goal of our life is to live with God forever. God, who loves us, gave us life. Our own response of love allows God's life to flow into us without limit. All the things in this world are gifts of God, presented to us so that we may know God more easily and make a return of love more readily. As a result, we appreciate and use all these gifts of God insofar as they help us develop as loving persons. But if any of these gifts become the center of our lives, they displace God and so hinder our growth toward our goal. In everyday life, then, we must hold ourselves in balance before all of these created gifts, insofar as we have a choice and are not bound by some obligation. We should not fix our desires on health or sickness, wealth or poverty, success or failure, a long life or a short one. For everything has the potential of calling forth in us a deeper response to our life in God. Our only desire and our one choice should be this: I want and I choose what better leads to God's deepening in his life in mine.
You may extinguish your vigil candles.
I've been waiting for breakthrough. I've been praying for change. I know you'll work it out for good. How long will it take? I've been asking for healing, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm ready for the miracle. God, let it be this time. But if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you'll right all the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. God, you taught me to trust you. You showed me how to believe. You're the author and the finisher of what you started me. So I'm not gonna doubt it. I'm gonna hold on to peace. 'Cause if I have you and nothing else, I still have everything. But if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. Because I know the day is coming when you'll right all the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. I'll count it joy when I am tested, 'cause you bring beauty from my pain. It's never wasted. But if I never see the promise on this side of the grave, my hope might be shaken, but my faith will never break. 'Cause I know the day is coming when you'll right all the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong. 'Cause I know the day is coming when you'll right all the wrong. So I'll praise you in the waiting, and my faith will stay strong.
The Turtle, from The Way of Zhuangzi, as translated by Thomas Merton. Zhuangzi, with his bamboo pole, was fishing in Pu River. The Prince of Chu sent 2 vice-chancellors with a formal document. We hereby appoint you Prime Minister. Zhuangzi held his bamboo pole, still watching Pu River. He said, I am told there is a sacred tortoise offered and canonized 3,000 years ago, venerated by the prince, wrapped in silk in a precious shrine on an altar in the temple. What do you think? Is it better to give up one's life and leave a sacred shell as an object of cult and a cloud of incense 3,000 years? Or better to live as a plain turtle dragging its tail in the mud? For the turtle, said the Vice-Chancellor, better to live and drag its tail in the mud. Go home, said Zhuangzi. Leave me here to drag my tail in the mud.
Have a look at the drawing of St. Camillus on page 8 of our worship aid. A soldier of fortune, a constant gambler, 6 feet 6 inches tall, with a terrible temper. This was Camillus Dolellus when he went off to fight against the Turks. Camillus was wounded in battle. When the wound refused to heal, he went into the hospital. In those days, hospitals were not the clean places we know today, with professional nurses and skilled workers. During Camillus' stay in the hospital, he began to work as a nurse, and he experiences a change of heart. He sought to bring compassion and love to the sick and injured. When the pain in his leg made walking impossible, Camillus crawled from bed to visit the patients in whose faces he always saw the face of Christ. With the encouragement of his spiritual director, St. Philip Neri, Camillus founded the Order of the Servants of the Sick, who changed the world of nursing care. Because of his experience in battle, Camillus was inspired to organize the first field hospital and ambulances for soldiers. He and his brother ministers to the sick roamed the streets and caves of Rome to find plague victims and carry them back to safe, clean hospitals. Have a look at the drawing of St. Camillus in your worship aid. In the drawing, Camillus plays cards with some patients in an AIDS clinic. He holds in his hands the King of Hearts. Around his neck, a red cross. The symbol sewn on the front of the habits worn by his order of brothers. The angel mobile recalls that Camillus is often depicted with an angel as a companion on his nursing rounds.
Is this not rather the fast that I choose? Releasing those bound unjustly, untying the thongs of the yoke, setting free the oppressed, breaking off every yoke. Is it not sharing your bread with the hungry, bringing the afflicted and the homeless into your house, clothing the naked when you see them, and not turning your back on your own flesh? Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and your wound shall quickly be healed. Your vindication shall go before you, and the glory of God shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. You shall cry for help, and he will say, "Here I am." If you remove the yoke from among you, the accusing finger, and the malicious speech, if you lavish your food on the hungry and satisfy the afflicted, then your light shall rise in the darkness, and your gloom shall become like midday.
Thomas Merton's Mystical Vision in Louisville. In Louisville, at the corner of 4th and Walnut, in the center of the shopping district, I was suddenly overwhelmed with the realization that I love all those people, that they were mine and I theirs, that we could not be alien to one another, even though we were total strangers. It was like waking from a dream of separateness, of spurious self-isolation in a special world, the world of renunciation and supposed holiness. The whole illusion of a separate, holy existence is a dream. Not that I question the reality of my vocation or of my monastic life, but the conception of separation from the world that we have in the monastery too easily presents itself as a complete illusion. The illusion that by making vows, we become a different species of being, pseudo-angels, spiritual men, men of interior life, what have you. Certainly, these traditional values are very real, but their reality is not of an order outside everyday existence in a contingent world. Nor does it entitle one to despise the secular. Though out of the world, we are in the same world as everybody else. The world of the bomb, the world of race hatred, the world of technology, the world of mass media, big business, revolution, all the rest. We take a different attitude to all these things, for we belong to God. Yet so does everybody else belong to God. We just happen to be conscious of it and to make a profession out of this consciousness. But does that entitle us to consider ourselves different or even better than others? The whole idea is preposterous. This sense of liberation from an illusory difference was such a relief and such a joy to me that I almost laughed out loud. And I suppose my happiness could have taken form in the words, thank God that I am like other men, that I am only a man among others. To think that for 16 or 17 years, I've been taking seriously this pure illusion that is implicit in so much of our monastic thinking. It is a glorious destiny to be a member of the human race, though it is a race dedicated to many absurdities, and one which makes many terrible mistakes. Yet, with all that, God Himself gloried in becoming a member of the human race. A member of the human race. To think that such a commonplace realization should suddenly seem like news that one holds the winning ticket in a cosmic sweepstakes. I have the immense joy of being man, a member of a race in which God Himself became incarnate. as if the sorrows and stupidities of the human condition could overwhelm me now that I realize that we all are. And if only everybody could realize this. But it cannot be explained. There is no way of telling people that they are all walking around, shining like the sun. If only they could all see themselves as they really are. If only we could each see the other that way all the time. There would be no more war, no more hatred, no more cruelty, no more greed. I suppose the big problem would be that we would fall down and worship each other. But this cannot be seen, only believed and understood by a peculiar gift. At the center of our being is a point of nothingness, which is untouched by sin and by illusion, a point of pure truth, a point or spark which belongs entirely to God. This little point of nothingness and of absolute poverty is the pure glory of God in us. It is so to speak his name written in us, in our poverty, as our indigence, as our dependence, as our sonship. It is like a pure diamond, blazing with the invisible light of heaven. It is in everybody. And if we could see it, we would see these billions of points of light coming together in the face and blaze of a sun that would make all the darkness and cruelty of life vanish complete. I have no program for this seeing. It is only given. But the gate of heaven is everywhere.
The saints, those who've gone before us, and those who walk among us still. They are icons for us, icons of holiness, windows, if you will, through which we might glimpse the face of God. We are all called to holiness. We are all called to live lives that are shaped by love. Love of God and love of our neighbor. And the saints, very human, oftentimes broken, certainly far from perfect. They give us examples of loving, even and maybe especially when loving is difficult. My own sainted mother, born at the height of the Depression, on a coal mine. She was a coal miner's daughter in the harsh and hard land of northern North Dakota. My grandmother was widowed when my mom was just 10 years old. And my mom remembers the death of her dad. It was a horrible death. He died of black lung because he was a coal miner. That was his work. My mom, the mantra as we grew up, her every day she would say, "Where would I be without my faith?" Especially during difficult times, and she knew loss. She knew struggle. She knew deep sadness and grief. Yet she would always tell us, especially in hard times in our family, that every story, she believed this in her faith, every story has a happy ending. Whether that be in this life, which we hope and pray for, but every story has a happy ending, whether that be in this life or in the next. Where will we be without our faith? St. Teresa of Calcutta, Mother Teresa, she says this: "I used to pray that God would feed the hungry, that God would do this or do that, all the things that I needed God to do. But now I pray God will guide me to do whatever I am supposed to do what I can do. I used to pray for answers, but now I pray for strength. I used to believe that prayer changes things, but now I know that prayer changes us. Prayer changes us, and we change things." St. Camillus de Lillis, he said it like this: "The poor and the sick, they are the heart of God. In serving them, we serve Christ. If a brother or sister has nothing to wear and no food for the day, and one of you says, go in peace, keep warm, eat well, but you do not give them the necessities of what the body needs, what good is that?" St. James tells us. And Pope Francis says it like this: "You pray for the hungry, then you feed them." That is how prayer works. And finally, in the words of Jesus, "When I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. Thirsty, and you gave me to drink. Stranger, and you invited me in. Naked, and you clothed me. Sick, and you cared for me. Imprisoned, and you visited me." Whatever you did for one of the least of these sisters or brothers of mine, that you did for me. My sisters and brothers, let us pray for the grace to recognize that we are all called to be saints.
May today there be peace within. May you trust God that you're exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith. May you use those gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content knowing you are a child of God. Let this presence settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love. It is there for each and every one of us.